Hi everyone, welcome to Sidrah's Silly Point, the first and only hijabi cricket podcast. I've been away for some time, but the scintillating test match between England and India that just wrapped up in the Anderson-Tendulkar Trophy compelled me to make a video about how the last 15-20 minutes of the test have completely overshadowed 5 days of grit and grind and the number of records that were made and broken in the test match. But hey, that's just how it goes. So, near the end of day 5, Ben Stokes walks over expecting a handshake from Indian batters Jadeja and Washington Sundar to have the match drawn, when they were both at 80-something each because in his mind, the game was over. Jadeja denied, indicating they wanted to continue batting as there were still 15 or so overs left in the day. Ben Stokes claims in the post-match press conference that Jadeja and Sundar did what they needed to do for their team, indicating the importance of team over personal milestones. On the other hand, Indian coach Gautam Gambhir says if you have the chance to achieve a milestone, why won't you? Well, here's my take on this. Firstly, Indian batters were well within the rules of the game to continue batting. A game isn't over until the overs have been bowled, and there were still 15 or so overs left in the day. Second, Ben Stokes, an exceptional player with an unbelievable amount of passion and dedication for the game, who always talks about team mindset and doing what's best for the team, couldn't push his main pacer Jofra Archer to threaten Indian batters for the team. Now tell me if I'm wrong, but the English bowling attack did not come anywhere close to looking threatening after the unbelievable start they got thanks to Wokes getting 2 wickets in his very first over. But then Ben Stokes has a problem with Jadeja and Sundar, who faced almost 200 balls each and battled hard to steer their team away from danger just because they're looking to bat through till the end of the day. And with that, if they can reach their milestones, then so be it. It's not like it was guaranteed that they would achieve their hundreds, or was it that Stokes knew he didn't have anyone in his armor who could trouble the 2 Indian batters? I mean, I understand it had been a long day and England had to bowl twice, but that's the way the game goes. Test cricket is tough. It is a mental test. After all, it's called test. You can't have it easy. And if you want to reignite the passion for test cricket and keep it alive, then you have to be prepared to play the full 5 days. Funny how there are conversations on the feasibility of placing a 2-tier test cricket system, but here a top-tier team doesn't have the patience to play till the end of play on the final day of the test match. You have to accept and admit that you were forced to draw this match from a winning position on the backs of brilliant Indian batting and because your bowlers just were not able to take 20 wickets, period. And this could potentially cost you the series. Instead of being impatient and being almost patronizing in the last 15 minutes, if Stokes had pushed his bowlers and riled them up in the last 2 sessions of the game, the way he had Zach Crawley and others pushing Jadeja's buttons, then there was a chance to have a different result, one that could make the final test a walk in the park for the Englishmen, but not anymore. Indians were no saints, don't get me wrong. They were batting to grind and tire out the English bowlers, and they did so brilliantly. Whether it was saving the last half hour or a whole session, Stokes knew this was India's mindset and likely didn't want it to go that way. But he has only his team to blame for putting them in that position. Had they been able to roll over India earlier after getting a brilliant start and not made pitches fearing Bumrah, they would be in a different position. And look, people love records. They remember them, they talk about them, they discuss them. Weren't we all celebrating and congratulating Joe Root on his remarkable record of surpassing a whole list of legends, including Ricky Ponting, who was sitting right there in the commentary box, witnessing live him break his record to become the 2nd highest run scorer in Test cricket? Weren't we all applauding Ben Stokes for his all-round ability, scoring a century and taking a fifer in the same test match? I think hastiness, impatience, and the go big or go home approach that baseball brings was reflected in Stokes' demeanor. And it wasn't as noble, courteous, gentlemanlike as those in favor of that are portraying it to be. There was quite a bit of banter from the players around that we all got to hear. I mean, to ask Jadeja if he wants to reach his 100 off of Harry Brook or Ben Duckett's bowling and then have Harry Brook bowl those ridiculous bowls is a bit below the belt. I mean, I absolutely love Joe Root, but are we going to start counting how many of the 13,000 runs or so that he has amassed were scored on part-time bowlers? Stokes would be better off reflecting the clear misses of his team, especially bowlers who never really looked threatening on a pitch that was supposed to give them home advantage. The way Jadeja and Sundar were batting, had there been one more day of play, who knows what the result might be. India would have declared at some point and put England to bat, and for all we know, Jadeja and Sundar end up cleaning up England's batting lineup. I don't know. I know there were talks about 4 days versus 5-day matches. Heck, a 6-day in this test match would have been so nice to see the kind of grind India could put England through. And Gambier might be right about what he said in the post-match conference, but Jadeja and Sundar here just saved his tenure. After a whitewash against New Zealand and 1-3 loss in Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, a loss in England would have definitely raised a lot of questions. Jadeja and Sundar gave Gambier's ruthlessness a boost all over again. The guy looks like he's always about to blow up. I mean, you don't have to be Mr. Nice Guy, but okay, calm down. The whole world's on your side right now. Besides a few Englishmen, no one's really supporting Stokes and his call. And now with the momentum India has, they would be on a high going into the final test match at the Oval. On the other hand, if Stokes and his team are getting impatient and tired, then I'm absolutely, definitely looking forward to the Ashes. Imagine someone like Bo Webster or Alex Carey getting under Stokes' skin. Perhaps Stokes doesn't know how it feels to be on the receiving end of these records. If only he knew how it feels to be a Pakistani cricket fan and to see opponents make records after records against Pakistan. And these opponents are not your number 1, your number 2, or your number 3 ranked teams. They can be anyone, unfortunately. This is where Italy qualifying for the 2026 T20 World Cup is more nerve-wracking for Pakistan than any other nation. England is not playing a mediocre team here. India was inches away from qualifying for the 2025 World Test Championship final. England wasn't. So the Indians are not going to come easy. Yes, they don't have the likes of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, or Ravichandran Ashwin, but it doesn't mean they don't have the means to cause an upset. And if you ask me, I like that there isn't as much of stardom and celebrity factor that always encompasses Indian cricket in this team. That's my 2 cents on the incident, and let me know if you agree. But before I go, on an unrelated or somewhat related note, a video is circulating of a fan who attended the test match, this very test match between England and India, the 4th one at Old Trafford, and he's being asked to cover up his Pakistan jersey that he was wearing by an officer in the stands. What in the world? The officer says he works for Lancashire, and the internet is now telling me that Lancashire has links with IPL and therefore with India. I mean, if the fan paid for his ticket and isn't causing any harm to others in the stadium, then this type of behavior is unacceptable and just gone too far. I'm not for bringing politics, but this is a bit ridiculous. That's all for now. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care.